In a small village called Ilugbon, surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth, there lived a young boy named Tund. Tund loved one thing more than anything else in the world: drums. Not just any drums. He loved the great talking drum that hung in the chief's courtyard. The elders said it was carved many years ago from a sacred tree. They believed it could speak to the village, warning of danger, calling for celebration, and even sending messages to neighboring towns. But no child was allowed to touch it. Every evening, Tund would sit quietly by the courtyard wall and watch Baba Eo, the village drummer, play. The drum would sing go bo go bo go, pa ta pa, goo. And somehow, the elders understood its meaning. One dry season, something terrible happened. The village stream began to dry up, crops withered, the goats grew thin, fear spread like wildfire. The elders gathered under the big village tree. "This is not ordinary," said Chief Adisa. "We must send a message to the neighboring village for help." But Baba Eo had fallen ill. There was no one skilled enough to play the sacred drum. Silence filled the courtyard. Tund's heart beat fast. He knew he was young. He knew it was forbidden. But he had listened every single day. He had practiced secretly on an old wooden box behind his mother's hut. Slowly he stepped forward. "I can try," he said, his voice trembling. Murmurs rose from the crowd. "You are just a boy," one elder snapped. But the chief studied Tund's eyes. "Let him try." The talking drum was lowered carefully. It looked bigger than Tund remembered. His hands felt cold. For a moment, doubt crept in. Then he remembered Baba Eo's rhythm. He remembered how the drum spoke in tones, rising and falling like the local language itself. Tund lifted the curved stick. Pa, ta, pa, go bo, ta. The sound echoed across the village. He closed his eyes and played again, carefully shaping the rhythm. "Water is drying. Crops are failing. We ask for help." The drum spoke. The elders leaned forward. The chief's eyes widened. "He has said it correctly," the chief whispered. Tund continued, sweat forming on his forehead. The rhythm carried across the fields, beyond the palm trees, into the distance. Hours passed. Then, just before sunset, a faint reply echoed from far away. Another drum answered. Cheers erupted. The neighboring village had heard them. Help would come. Days later, carts of water and food arrived. The villagers worked together to dig a deeper well, one that would never dry again. From that day forward, Tund was no longer just a boy. He became the youngest drummer of Ilugbon, trained personally by Baba Eo when he recovered. And the elders learned something important. Wisdom does not always wait for old age. Sometimes it grows quietly in the heart of a child who is brave enough to step forward. And whenever the talking drum sang, it carried not just messages, but the story of courage.